Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Let us see the question in this video. The question is the resolvent kernel for the integral equation. We are given this integral equation, right? They are asking what is the resolvent kernel for this equation. So how can we calculate the resolvent kernel? It is denoted by R, X, T and lambda. What is lambda over here? It is equal to 1. So we can write it like this. And what is the formula to calculate resolvent kernel? It is calculated as summation m varies from 1 to infinity, right? Lambda raised to power m minus 1. And what is lambda here? It is 1. So 1 raised to power m minus 1 km xt, where what are these? These are known as the iterated kernels. We know that, right? So to calculate this resolvent kernel, we must first calculate the iterated kernels km xt. So what is the definition to calculate these iterated kernels? These are given by k1 xt. It is same as kxt. And what is the kernel given in our question? Kxt is given to be e to the power t minus x, right? So k1 xt becomes e to the power t minus x, right? So and again the mth iterated kernel, this is calculated by this formula. We have integration from t to x. Why t to x? Because the given equation is Volterra kind of equation. Then k x z, then here it would be km minus 1 zt dz, right? So let us calculate the second kernel kxt. So what would be that? It would be integration from t to x, right? K x z. What was k? It was this. So we have e to the power, let us first write the formula. It would be k x z and it would be k1 zt tz, right? Because we are calculating the second kernel. So it is integration from t to x. It would be e to the power z minus x. Why z minus x? Because in place of t we are substituting z and we are keeping x as it is, right? And from this k1, here what we are doing, we are replacing t would be as it is and we are replacing this x with z over here. So t minus z dz. The integration is with respect to z. So what do we get? We get integration from t to x e to the power, if the base being same, the powers would add up, so it would lead to e to the power t minus x, right? dz. So now the integration is with respect to z. So this term e to the power t minus x comes out. We are left with integration from t to x 1 dz. So it would be e to the power t minus x multiplied by x minus t. So this is our second kernel, right? Let us calculate third kernel k3 xt. What would be that? It would be integration from t to x, k of xz, k2 of zt dz, right? So let us calculate that. So integration from t to x, e to the power z minus x as done previously, and here we have to substitute, we are to replace this x with the z. So what would we obtain? E to the power t minus z, z minus t dz, right? So again we are having integration from t to x. Here it would be e to the power t minus x and here we are left with z minus t dz. So this term exponential could be taken out from this integral sign, right? We are left with integration from t to x, z minus t dz. What would be that? It would be z minus t whole square divided by 2, limits of integration varying from z varying from t to x, right? So ultimately we are left with e to the power t minus x, and here it would be x minus t whole square divided by 2. So this is our third kernel. So can you follow what would be the fourth kernel? Let us also calculate that. By looking at this, you must be guessing, you must have guessed until now that it should be e to the power t minus x minus t whole cube divided by 3 factorial. But to be sure that we are right, let us calculate just one more. So it would be integration from t to x, k of xz, k3 of zt dz. So that would be integration from t to x, e to the power z minus x, and here we are writing e to the power z minus t, right? Wait, t minus z. T minus z, and then it would be z minus t raised to power 2 divided by 2 factorial dz. So let us solve this. So we would get e to the power t minus x out from this integration sign, integration from t to x, and it would be z minus t square dz, right? This 2 could also be taken out. So what do we get? When you simplify this, you'll get e to the power t minus x divided by 3 factorial x minus t raised to power 3. So this is the fourth kernel, right? So we can generalize this. So continuing like this, what would we get? Kmxt, that would be equal to e to the power t minus x minus t raised to power m minus 1 divided by m minus 1 factorial, right? So this is our mth iterated kernel. So what would be our resolvent kernel? Our xt1, that would be equal to summation m varies from 1 to infinity, 1 raised to power m minus 1, that is 1 only, right? And then kmxt, so it would be summation m varying from 1 to infinity, e to the power t minus x minus t raised to power m minus 1 divided by m minus 1 factorial, right? Now this term is independent of of m, right? Because the summation is depending on m. So we can take this term common or out from the summation. So we are left with 1 to infinity. So we are left with x minus t raised to power m minus 1 divided by m minus 1 factorial, right? So it would be e to the power t minus x 1 plus x minus t plus x minus t raised to power 2 by 2 factorial. If I open up the summation and substitute m is equal to 1 over here, m is equal to 2 over here, m is equal to 3 over here, and so on, x minus t raised to power 3 divided by 3 factorial plus so on. What do I get? This is similar to that of, I can write this as exponential of x minus t, because we know what is e to the power x? It is equal to 1 plus x square by 2 factorial plus x cube by 3 factorial plus so on up to infinity, right? So we have this term instead of this infinite series. So at the end we are left with 1, or I can write e to the power 0, and this would be 1, right? So our resolvent kernel in this case is equal to 1. Let us look at options. So option B is the correct option. That is it for this video. Thank you for watching.